Are you on edge? Come on. We live in challenging, edgy times, so let's lean in. I'm Sandra Bargman, the host of The Edge of Every Day, which airs bi-monthly on MaximizeU.life and iTunes. Tune in live with me and my friends and colleagues as we share stories and courageous conversations about pushing boundaries, exploring our rough edges, and walking between the worlds of what is and what is yet to be. Join me, Sandra Bargman, on the edge of every day on MaximizeU.life. Hello, everyone. I am Sandra Bargman, and welcome to The Edge of Every Day, now at MaximizeU.life. Are you a change maker? Do you walk between worlds, between cultures, between systems? If you answered yes to any of these questions, The Edge of Every Day is the place for you. In a nutshell, this podcast is about pushing boundaries and exploring rough edges. Through conversations and shared stories with friends and colleagues, it's my hope that we can begin to understand our edges. And what I mean by edges is those places where we are fearful, those places where we're resistant to change, those places where paradox and contradicting identities lives in our beliefs and our understandings, both individually and collectively. We live in edgy, challenging times, and we cannot keep looking away from the ugly, from the difficult. And silence is no longer an option. Life isn't black or white, it's both, and I want to talk about that. I want to face the tension of paradox, and I want to engage in the hard conversations. I want to explore the rough edges between our light-filled brilliance and our dark, shadowy corners. Because the more we recognize our own edges and get real about them, the more we can help others to do the same. And that, I fully believe, can help to change the world. So, thanks for tuning in. Today, we are live in the Hive with our special guest, actor and playwright Joanna Rush, who has a new performance piece, No Malarkey, headed to the United Solo Theater Festival later this month. She and I have so much to talk about, so many parallels in our journey, but in particular, the theme to which I return again and again, the artist as healer. In this episode, we explore the edges where storytelling and trauma, activism and healing all meet. So without further ado, it is time to introduce our guest. Joanna Rush is a playwright, actor, dancer, interfaith minister, and author. Originally from New Jersey, she moved to New York City to dance with the famed Rockettes and went on to work as a dancer, choreographer, and actor on both coasts, on Broadway, Off-Broadway, and in regional theaters across the country, as well as in film and television. Her Broadway credits include a chorus line, Shirley McClaine at the Palace and Pousse-Café. And off-Broadway credits include Daughters, Inside Out, Grandma Sylvia's Funeral, Broadway Scandals of 1928, among many others. Joanna is a seminary-trained and ordained interfaith, interspiritual minister and counselor, and received ordination through One Spirit Interfaith Learning Alliance. As a playwright, she wrote Kick, It's Not How High, It's How Strong, formerly titled Asking for It, and has performed at Off-Broadway and at All for One Theater Festival 2013, New York Society for Ethical Culture, the Kirk Theater, Stalker Arts Center, Peter J. Sharp Theater, Gloucester Stage, and in colleges and theaters across the United States. She was chosen to perform sections of the play for International Women's Day, which I love, sponsored by the United Nations Council on the Empowerment of Women. In addition, oh, here, come back. Come back. There we go. In addition, oh, it happened again. There we go. In addition, she has written Sex and Power and performed it at the Marsh Theater, San Francisco. Multiple character plays include Home Sweet Homeland, produced by Amos Musical Theater, Accidental Mummies, with Lynn Taylor Corbett as the director, and multi-character versions of Kick. Her book, Kick, It's Not How High, It's How Strong, authored in 2016, is, quote, based on intimate recollections by Joanna Rush, a former Rockette. This powerful story of rape, betrayal, and redemption has taken the form of a renowned performance piece and now is available as a memoir with a dash of fiction thrown in. She is on her way to the United Solo Theater Festival on March 16th with her latest piece, No Malarkey, directed by Lynn Taylor Corbett. Welcome, Joanna. I like me a long intro.
I was like, oh no, really?
Yeah, no,
Thank
totally.
you. Thank you.
I love doing that because we've only got less than an hour and I can never, ever in that amount of time get to everything I want to. I come up with scores of questions and I get to maybe half of them. So I always want that at the top. So people are really like, wow, this is just juicy.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So welcome. I am so thrilled that you're here, Joanna. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. It's great.
It is really great. Well, folks, I love to start with, I have a couple of questions, as my loyal listeners know, but I'm particularly excited to tell people how I know Joanna. I like to always share that with my listeners, how I get to my conversations. And Joanna and she was ordained through One Spirit. I went to One Spirit, but it's not where I was ordained. But I also attended the spiritual counseling training there. That's how I was ordained through the new seminary, but I also wanted to have my foot in that community as well. So I took the counseling there. And I know you did as well, correct?
I finished at One Spirit. I never went to a new seminary, but it seems like our paths have almost been crossing for years.
I
And
know.
we meet up on Zoom.
I know. Who'd have
I
thought?
love it.
I know, right? Welcome to 2024. We're never getting away from this. We were all kicking and screaming back in 2020 when we got dragged in, but I enjoy it.
I do too.
Did you ever do a wedding on Zoom? When
No,
everything went
performed on Zoom.
Yeah, of course
Like
you did.
almost immediately. So it was scary, but I
bizarre.
loving it.
Yeah. And when I did my first Zoom wedding, I was I didn't do a ton of them, but I did a few of them. And I was shocked at how intimate and fantastic it was. And I thought, okay, this Zoom thing is here to stay, which is a good thing.
I bet it was because it feels intimate. So with a couple doing the ceremony, I imagine.
Yeah, right. But it showed how I didn't understand Zoom. You have to, we didn't know that you could actually be intimate with it, but lo and behold, you can be. So I ask all of my guests out of the gate a lovely question. What identity do you, Joanna Rush, what identity do you lead with?
Actor.
Oh my God, that was so great. That was a take. Break for lunch, everyone. That was a take. People kind of go on and on. They kind of go on, and you're like, bam, actor.
Boils down to that. Because I'm writing, I'm writing this piece that I'm going to be performing, and I'm sure you have the same experience. Oh, I don't know if it's the same experience, but
similar, certainly.
On the page, it's the one thing, and of course, it has to be on the page. But like yesterday, I had a realization when I was rehearsing as an actor. Sometimes as a writer, I just forget about the actor. But then when I get into the acting part of it, it's like so demands the truth that I'm back at the computer like a lot. So I'm hoping to freeze the writing, you know,
Oh,
tomorrow.
absolutely. Speaking is a whole different ballgame than writing. It's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
a presentation also coming up that I have to give, and it looked really great on stage, but on paper, but as I'm saying it out loud, it's like, no, that sounds really queer, and you've got to get a little more real. I'm going to add some cuss words. No, I'm kidding. Um, Joanna and I had a laugh prior to us going on air. Can we swear? I said yes. We're ministers who swear. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
We're the real deal, the irreverent reverence. And my other question is, what two worlds, or I should say, don't worlds in general? What worlds do you walk between?
Oh, now this is going to take a little longer. Um, well, what worlds I walk between? It actually came up in my writing yesterday because
Hmm.
I, I live in the world of I live in a very loving space, and then I'm trying to navigate the world of the United States of projection
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
craziness that's going on.
yeah.
And it's really hard. And I feel like we haven't had a break from this for like 10 years almost.
Yeah.
Uh, and I am going away next week. I'm going to Costa Rica
Oh, good.
because it's happy life and
Yeah.
it's no armies, no anything. So I really need this break from it, but I do try to navigate it. I loved your introduction. I mean, because the thing of going into the dark places and finding the humanity and the love and and the healing that's there.
Mm.
That that's where I walk, you
Yeah.
know.
I
The
hear
things
you.
I write about, I mean, rape,
Oh,
9/11,
you. Yeah, no,
abortion.
she minds the shadows. Well, and that is, I love the United States of projection. That's brill. Um, and that is, so much of our collective shadow is coming out and being played out in these horrific and frightening ways, and hence the rough edges, and my desire to want to talk about them and to have people come on that want to talk about how they're exploring them and sharing about that and excavating that information. um yeah.
It is such a service, Sandra. It's just so important. I'm thrilled that you're doing this and to be part of it. It's really
Oh, Joanna,
so
thank
needed.
you. Thank you. And right back at you, what you're creating with your shows. And so let's dive into No Malarkey. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And I say truly right back at you.
Thank
So
you.
let's dive in with No Malarkey, your latest and greatest. So you started out with Kick, which, and then you progressed to, what was your second one? Sex and,
It's
I'm talking one woman.
oh, the one woman. Well, as I think I mentioned, it was I started out with asking for it, and I toured
Asking for it, right?
college.
Oh, that's right. Ooh, and I wanted to ask you, why did because I was going through it. Why did she change? Asking for it is so on it. Why did she change that name? Please tell our
It was
listeners.
so on it. It was like 20 years before Me Too, and at the same time that we were going to open off Broadway, and the producers said nobody wants to see a show about rape, and and you can't
Except
say,
every
well, but it's
woman.
funny.
Oh my God. Oh my.
But at the same time they were saying that, I noticed at the Edinburgh Festival, well, what was an article about the Edinburgh Festival, and a young woman was doing a solo show called Asking for It, naked from the waist down.
Oh,
And it was selling out. And she was then off to Australia and New Zealand and everything. And I and her asking for it was really making headlines. So I said, well, what the hell? Why don't we just change it?
yeah.
So
Wow.
Somebody came up with kick, and my brother came up with the tagline.
Yeah.
It's not how high, it's how strong.
Sure. No, and that which is great too. And such a
Yeah.
such a wonderful, yeah, talks about your threshold into adulthood and what you were experiencing. So the theme, your other, by the way, I watched Kick online, and there's the book.
Because she's upside down in the theater thing. It's like a girl who goes for a career in the theater, and then her life gets turned upside down. My
Yeah.
brother did that.
Oh, very talented. I love it. It's good to have talented people in your family. Handle the things. So, so rape and redemption and religion and these themes have been a part of all that you've done. It's been. Tell us why no Malarkey? Why now? I felt that it brought in, and I did watch Kick. I did watch it. In addition to everyone, I got to read the script and no Malarkey. Ooh, baby. And I mean, you can say all of them are political, obviously, but no Malarkey is really just overtly political. And was democracy kind of sort of or your interest in Joe? I mean, what was the reasoning behind maybe going so political in this particular one?
Yeah, and I'm glad you talked about fear because it really scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, I bet.
So, it really does. But I was working on another piece that was very heavy, a multi-character piece, and um, and the ageism just hit me in a big way. It was like
Yeah.
it just really hit me, and I never had like a Joe Biden thing. It wasn't very much. But then when I looked into it, but I decided I wanted to do stand up or at least a comedy.
Yes, yes, yes. As if your other shows weren't comedy too. No, it's all comedy, but this is particularly stand up. Okay, keep going.
It's with a microphone. As a matter of fact, my hand keeps coming up, but I will not let go of it because I did run through it. Don't tell mama, and I don't know. I know what happened. I left the mic in the stand and I went over to my stool and I just kept talking. So they missed that whole part. But but then when I started, I always knew that Joe Biden's birthday and my birthday were like a week apart. So
Unbelievable. Folks, this is unbelievable. For those of you just listening, you've got to go and see the video. This woman, it's, oh my God, gorgeous. We would never guess you at that age.
well, I'll just this little thing. We're both named Joe. We're both the oldest of four siblings, three boys and a girl. Both came up lower middle class Catholic school back when Jesus was nice. So,
Love that
I
line.
mean, so I'm. He had the stutter. I had a lisp. It's endless. And as I went through it, through like my career and his career, our paths to enlightenment have been very different. But there's so many similarities. It's just uncanny.
Remarkable. It really is uncanny. Uh-oh. Are you there? There
And
you
I
are.
keep finding it. Like I wanted to do. I had a desire to like. I'm sorry. Oh, I had a desire to kind of. I do his father, but just a tiny, like one sentence. But I wanted to captivate the father, and I looked him up. He and I have the same birthday date. I
Oh
mean, go
my.
figure. Our mothers have the same name.
Separated at
So,
birth.
pardon?
Separated at birth.
I know it is. So
Amazing.
I've been having a lot of fun doing it, and at the same time, I can bring in issues.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I love that you're tackling ageism. That just thrills me. Absolutely thrills me, along with all the women I know. But she's checking in on voting rights and Medicare Advantage. I was like, rock on. mean, people are not really aware of this Medicare Advantage. I haven't even teased it apart fully. So I love that you touched on that. And climate, you've touched on that. And you've brought a lot of, you've woven in a lot of issues in this 1 hour, spectacularly mining the comedy.
Thank you. Thanks. I think that Medicare thing is devastating. I know, I'm sure you know, like the union just, after you're 65, they just put you in something.
Right.
My sister-in-law was a teacher, and she retired, and her union just put her in something. And if people could know the truth,
Yeah. I just
would
literally, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I just hope people. I mean, I feel like it's political, but I really try. The minister and me, you'll relate to this. I really try to extend the love to everybody, and I think it's information that we need to, no matter whether we're red state, blue state, or where on the edge we are. I think
Mm.
that we need information. I think
Yeah.
everybody's not getting information that's so necessary. So,
Yeah. In our fact-free world right now. And you even brought up QAnon in it, which I just loved. I mean, um, and something that I want to make another thing in there that I learned about was third act. I want to make sure that I touch upon that before I go on to a couple more questions. Third act. Um, by Bill McKibben. I actually saw Bill McKibben and met him speaking like 100 million years ago. And he was on his ascent. He has started. Tell us about Third Act and how you found it and how people can get involved. Speaking of ageism and that bullshit, and being in our great prime, our wisdom filled prime. Yeah.
yeah, I was looking for, I mean, I've always been involved in politics. I was raised in a very
That
political
was going to be one of my
environment.
questions. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
And I've always like worked on campaigns and things, doing phone banking, doing writing letters, blah blah blah. And I always felt like I had something to contribute that was more than I had something to contribute that could mean maybe more with the work that I do.
Yeah.
And one day my husband just sent me this email from Third Act, and they had a creatives group, and it looked like, oh my God, you could bring your work as an actor, writer, comedian, whatever, to the cause, to serve the cause. And and I got to introduce Bill McKibben at UMass, and it was such a thrill. He's just amazing. He's going to become a grandfather in the next week or so, and I think he's
Yeah.
very motivated, but also I feel so valued as an elder in Third Act, and
Amen.
people are really doing amazing things. I'm in the Massachusetts group, and they're so together. I mean, it's just like,
So this is a 60s plus group,
yes,
and people can find, just Google Third Act and
.org.
.org, and you can, find ways of sharing your wisdom and brightness. And people, we're living. Hey, listen, I feel like I'm just stepping into my prime and my get up and go right now, and it's yeah, 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 yeah. So I was thrilled to hear about Third
Yeah,
Act.
it's yes, actually, yes, it's and there's regional groups.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's one, there's New
In
York,
upstate New York. Yep.
upstate New York,
Hmm.
there's
In New York City. Yep.
Massachusetts, New York City. Yeah, it's
It's quite something.
anybody can find a home there, and it's just
Yeah, you can go by a home, where you are located, as well as you can choose through some sort of vocation. And I love that you, of course, went into the creatives and so this segs into your work as an actor and getting into writing. And you got into writing how? What was the choice to get into writing? And then how did that morph into, or I mean, was it conscious when you started to write about, the things, some of the traumas that you had gone through?
Oh, I love that you asked that.
Mm.
I wasn't well educated. I mean, it was a great education if you were fit in that, but it's like when I left school and I moved to New York, it was like that was the beginning of my learning. And I think the I think I always had a thing about writing, but I in school, like I was told I couldn't write, I was told I couldn't sing, I was told like the whole thing. So I had a lot of that to overcome. But I dated I dated a writer once. Like I was 18, I think. I was at Radio City, and I wouldn't say a bad word or anything because I went to
You
Catholic.
hadn't morphed into a swearing minister yet.
I I was a good girl.
Oh, yeah.
And he had this apartment, and it had a roof, and we went up on his roof, and he just wanted me to say words. It just every
Screaming.
word I was always afraid of saying. I just screamed them from the rooftop.
It's like an acting class.
It is kind of like acting class. So anyway, and then I didn't think I could write because like, actors, how we are, we're like the writer is like,
Yes, somewhat
I could
worshipful.
never do that. And it was something that guys were doing all the time.
Oh,
And then I did start writing. I wrote a screenplay and a pilot and things. I wrote stuff like that.
hmm.
And then I went to when I turned 40 and my agent fired me for being too old, I went up to the school
Unbelievable.
transition for dancers.
It's a glamorous life, people. Oh
I
my
know,
God.
isn't it?
Yes.
So I went up to see if I could uh, get an education.
Career
And I
transition.
wanted to go to
For
college.
those
And
for those
before AIDS,
people who are
they were
listening,
talking.
like just real quick, for those people who are listening in, our union has career transition for dancers and actors, and so anyway, continue.
Yes. So I went up there to say I wanted to go to school. And they said, "What for?" And I said, "For writing." And they said, "Oh, no, writing is worse than acting." Because for them, it has to be a career that will make money, that you will make money from. And
Oh,
so it was just assumed that, I wouldn't make money from writing. So I said, and my best friend was dying of AIDS at the time, and I
mm,
really was writing. What became asking for it, it was about a lot of loss. It was about losing him, but then it was about my losses,
yeah.
through rape and everything.
Ugh.
And it just finally when I hooked up with Lynn, um, it we worked it out on a
That's your
conversation.
director.
Yes, Lynn Taylor
Yeah,
Corbett.
yeah. Mm.
Yeah, she's amazing. I love her.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, when I started working with her, it started to take form, and we tried it out in a very actually all of my stuff I've some of my stuff I've tried out in a very red area in Ohio, and the audiences have been very warm and very happy to have the information.
Mm.
So yeah, so writing that, that took a long time. And then when 9/11 happened and we lived across the street, my husband and um, I wrote about that. I write about like what's happening in my life.
Well, I
Earthquakes.
mean, yeah, of course you do, but it has a lens through which you write that it feels political and feels, it's not meandering storytelling. It's very political and opinionated in its humorous and potent way. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was it like to start to write and perform and tell your stories about rape? What was that healing for you?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I
Um,
mean, was it difficult to share it, like to act it out, to talk about it in front of people at first?
No, I think the writing of it, it was painful.
Yeah,
But I
I
had
can
had
imagine.
so much therapy and so much counseling, everything,
Mhm.
that I felt like I had processed it. And and then in the performing of it, I approached it as an actor, and I would be surprised when people would say, "Oh, you're so brave." I'm like, "Oh shit, really?" What, um, but I think performing it has been cathartic, and thing that's really been amazing and really I went into ministry like after that, but it was really very, it was a ministry
Oh
because,
my God, yeah.
yeah, the people who had never talked about their rapes, who shared, it was, it's so heartwarming. I just get
Yeah.
emotional because they really, but just being able to be with other people and also being able to laugh, which relaxes the body,
Yeah.
they, uh, they have been able to, many people have told me they've been able to process and feel better about themselves.
Yeah, no, they're not alone yeah. I mean, I can totally see that the information flying in the red quote states, women are women and rape is rape, for God's sake. Um, oh wow.
Same thing
So,
happened with abortion when we did
ah,
it in Ohio. And I mean, yeah, and they were happy for the information. God knows it was before, it was a warning that this might happen
yeah,
like 10
hello, that
years
we
ago.
I know, my God. Oh, and I love that you talked about that. Oh my, and you got in the what's it called? The Safe Haven baby box. I screamed. You got the Dropbox baby. I oh, you got it so much in there. I'm sorry. I don't want to give it away. I probably just gave
Okay.
something away. Oh well. Folks, run, don't walk. And I won't say anything more about what's in there. Um but anyway, so in terms of tell us more about the reaction from the audiences and what are some of the extraordinary results that have occurred in terms of your talkbacks after or things that you've learned that people have. I know that you've had some talkbacks. Yes, you have got to have had some talkbacks after this. You
Yeah,
and
we have
particularly
had.
at your colleges. What
Oh,
share some great
we,
stories.
I just well, well, there's a lot of emotion at the kick talkbacks. People break down, but I have done it in partnership with rape crisis centers, that particular piece. And so there's always been somebody to see afterwards,
Yeah.
so they can follow up. So that's been great. Um, it's just popping into my head about the abortion story, which is Accidental Mummies, which is a multi-character, and we did it on a college campus.
Mm,
And I was struck by this article I read in the New York Times about um, 8 women in Guanajuato, Mexico, who were imprisoned for having miscarriages. They were sent right from the hospital directly to prison for 8 years. And so I know it's how did I find the humor in that? But my characters found it. But the
this is
the
your
audience,
brilliance.
the young people in the audience were like shocked that that would happen. And unfortunately, I was able to say at a talkback in Indiana, right near here, right now, there was a woman who was imprisoned for having a miscarriage. Her name was Patel. I forget her, Harvey Patel,
Mm.
for having a miscarriage. So it was like we had to
It's
wake up.
you. Yeah, it's you. And people, this is the life we're in right now. Get motivated, get involved, step out of your bubble and get educated.
That's it, the
Um,
educated. That's the word.
yeah.
Now lately, I mean, I just did no Malarkey at a senior home, and
Mm.
some of them did not know about Medicare Advantage. they didn't. It depends what you're watching, and also with all those
Depends on
commercials.
what you're watching. Indeed.
So they were grateful for that information, and young people that will have to take care of, or they won't have to, but I mean, I'm sure they'll take care
Right.
of the elders, and
Hopefully.
yeah, yeah,
Well, and maybe hopefully Medicare will be around by the time they get there. If they start voting properly now.
yeah,
And yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow. How did your are you
Oh, one
close?
other thing about
Oh,
about
go, go. Yeah, yeah.
that happened to Lynn, and in a talk back,
Mm.
a young man said to Lynn afterwards, "I never realized that I was guilty of date rape." So
My Lord.
I
Did
know
not understand what date rape was.
that it was a thing. Of course, this was 15 years ago, but still, it was in our lifetime.
Wow. No, it's
Yeah.
remarkable. This is talk about the shadow, keeping our sexuality in the corners, in the dark, dusty shadows, in every way, shape, and form. And I'm going to refrain from talking about religion, keeping it in the shadows. You of all people know all about that. Um, okay, so I've asked all of those questions. So what? So let's talk about No Malarkey and getting it into the United Solo Festival now. And what are your hopes for that? When is it going to play? Do you have any future plans for it, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, my hopes for it are to get it out there during this election season as
Yeah,
much as
yeah, as much
possible.
as possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I I have an agent, a booking agent,
Oh,
and
fantastic. Excellent.
yeah, McCoy artists, Larry McCoy, he's so great. Just feel great about him. And so we're trying to get enough people to the United Solo Festival. And we got this great time, Saturday night at 7. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
truly.
yeah,
So
so
that's
he,
March 16th. This is going to air on March 1st.
oh,
So that's why I said later this month. So for those listening in, we're doing this in February. Um, so yeah, so March 16th at 7 p.m. And where is the United Solo Festival for our listeners?
Theater
Sorry, you
Row
just
on
say it
West
one more
42nd
time.
Street.
You just went,
So it'll be really nice to be back home again.
you just froze.
Oh,
Say
the
it
United
again.
Solo Festival and No Malarkey is March 16th. That's Saturday at 7 p.m.
At the
Theater
United
Row.
Theater Row.
Yeah, I think it's
And
310 West 42nd. Yeah.
excellent. And I'm hoping those of you who know that I have a venue space on my property up here in the Catskills, I'm hoping to get Joanna to come up and do an incredible performance in The Plum at Traver Hollow House. So she and I'll have to speak about that. Anyway,
I am looking
so
forward to that.
oh, I would adore it, and to she's hilarious, and the great power. You really are quite gifted at the comedy within the tragedy and the trauma.
That is so interesting because when I left the music hall, I was 18. I went to all those auditions in backstage or show business, and they were probably non-union or whatever. Anyway, I went to an audition for a stand-up comic to open, a woman comic to open for a male singer. I don't think I could. Oh, I guess I can tell it on your podcast anyway.
Yes, you can.
Anyway, I went up to the Catskills and auditioned, and and I got it, and it was like I was really good. I mean, it was natural, kind of. And so anyway, the singer really liked me and everything, and it was all about the manager. And so the manager drove me back to the city, and um, and then he pulled off the road. I shouldn't even say this on your podcast.
Oh, go for it. Come on.
He told me, and I was all happy because I got the job. And he said he pulled over and he said if I didn't give him a full job,
Oh, dear
I would never
Lord.
work again.
This is the, oh my God. Thank you for telling. No joke. It's unending. This sense of it.
18. He was
Oh
at
my,
least 65.
oh my God.
So I never tried comedy again, but I played all comedy, in plays. I mean, I do a lot of comedy, but I like talk about killing a career right in the bud.
Wow. And well, and talk about, but, and look at what you're doing now. It's that kind of behavior, that kind of awful behavior that there is no female on the face of the planet that hasn't faced this. And to rise up and talk about it and skewer it with your wisdom and your comedy, it is potent. And women are rising intergenerationally. And you're proving that. Yeah. Yes. It's
Yeah,
extraordinary. Um,
yeah.
So, of course, you're looking to get this into colleges too, and, with young voters and get them to pay attention and to wake up and snap out of the bubbles and all those things.
Yeah.
So, where can people find, they now know that the 16th it's going to the United Solo. Where can people find you? You are on LinkedIn and you are on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook at
And
Joanna Rush. And believe it or not, I'm trying to be on TikTok. My nephew works for TikTok and he's tried to coach me, but it's so all over the place for me.
well,
And
sure, but you'll get
I'm
there.
sort of on Instagram.
Hmm.
And my website, I have joannarush.com. And that
Excellent.
kind of leads to my other websites. Then there's
Okay.
a nomalarkey.live.
Oh, okay. And all of that will be in the show notes, folks, which you can find at maximizeyou.life and backslash podcast backslash the edge of every day. So run, don't walk. Get this book. You can find Kick at Amazon. I've seen it at Amazon. You can get it ordered from your favorite local bookstore if you order it, and if Amazon is not your jam. Um, what else? What last glorious words of wisdom do you want to leave with our on the edge of our seat listeners?
Oh dear.
I know they're I know. I'll put it on. No pressure. No pressure.
Not at all. No, I wonder what Joe would say. We're the United States of America. We could do anything we set our minds to.
It's the truth.
Yeah. Um, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't, about the ageism thing. This is just coming out like blah, blah, blah. But
do it.
about the ageism thing, I was thinking, because Joe and I had this Catholic school, we had this like fantastical religious upbringing, and it takes, I think we're slow, we evolve, but it takes us a while because we're so conditioned. And
Yes.
so, but I think we've also learned some really great values that we've carried through. So
Mm.
I wouldn't be afraid of his age. And besides, he's taking Pilates. So
There
I
you
think,
go. Yeah. No, you're so right. And you talk about this in No Malarkey and the change and how the evolution of and the embrace of no, we have evolved to let those beliefs go and we need to move into this understanding about life in the times that we're in. And no, I agree. He's fantastic and he's really turned the ship around. and he's
Yeah.
what we have. And what I think also is that people need to understand, in the point of why the importance of your show is so enormous, is that people are not understanding the magnitude of this moment. Like,
Wow.
we're truly at the precipice, people. And if you don't like Joe, tough shit. Like, we're at it's no, not a vote for him is a vote for the orange person. No third party. Where, on paper, a third party sounds great. That's not where we are, and it's not truly the moment that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my high horse. So well.
It's so great you're doing this podcast. No, I think, because it's like the part they talk about, how when you're older and your brain breaks down. I mean, maybe, like Joe and me, maybe we're stiffer. Maybe, like I can't eat everything that I used to be able to eat. He can still eat ice cream. I mean, I can't do dairy.
Damn
But
him.
part of our brains that do what we do keeps getting better,
And
I
yes,
think.
better, wiser, stronger.
Yes.
Amen. Well, Joanna Rush, I can't thank you enough for gracing me and my listeners with your beautiful presence, your talent, your wisdom, and your kindness. Thank you for being a guest on my show.
Thank you, Sandra Bargman. It's been an honor.
And thank you to all of you who are out there listening. Remember, you are always at the edge of the miraculous. Thanks for tuning in. Stay on.